Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the All Balls Sports Show. Brought to you in part by True Love's Pizza and Grits at 1144 Riverside Drive. A discussion of any and all sports, local, regional, and national. And now, here are your hosts, Dan James, Eddie Bobo, Ty Cobb, and the coach, Vance Ballou.
And thank you, Bill Jones. Welcome into the All the Ball Sports Show for this Tuesday, 20th day of February. Glad to have everybody along. And, of course, we've got our co-host here. We've got Eddie Bobo.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Well,
good week?
So far.
It's only Tuesday.
Right.
What about you, Chip Matlock?
Pretty good week, and want to give a shout out to one of our previous guests, Coach McGuire. They had a weekend sweep in their opening baseball series.
Cool.
In Murfreesboro.
Who did they sweep?
One of the directional Illinois schools. Western Illinois, I think.
School of the Blind.
But just want to give a shout out to them for a win, because we had a real nice visit with Coach McGuire.
We did. We're going to have him back on the show, or we're going to go to MTSU and try to do something from the press box
us
up
to
there.
Come up.
He did,
but he don't know what he's getting into, does he?
Hey, here's the thing. If we come to your house, then I expect to be treated with food and lots of it and drink. Just saying. You know.
I think he'll take care of it.
We put on the Ritz here by offering True Love's Pizza after the show was over with. And I expect to be treated with steak. Just saying.
Well, you know, he enjoyed that pizza so much, he might have requested we bring some with us.
Well, he may do that. Then we'll have to bring the pizza chick with us who fixes it over here.
But anyway, just a shout out to them. That's
okay.
A good way to start your season.
Absolutely. And then we have the Mid-State Classic coming up on April 10th.
Right.
That'll be on a Tuesday. So get your tickets now. Don't let it be a sellout on you, because the tickets are going fast.
Yes, they are.
According to Mac Reagan, they had like 850 the first day when they sold. That's a good deal.
Yeah, Tony sent me a text and said they were going fast.
Good deal. Excellent. Hey, we've got somebody in for the show that we haven't ever had before. We wanted to get him on, but unfortunately he was catching passes and making all kinds of records and doing all this, setting all kinds of records down at the University of North Alabama. Dre Hall.
How you doing?
Doing fine. How about you, man?
I'm doing good. Just living life and working out, getting ready for the next level.
All right. What is the prospects of the next level?
Right now is looking at, I have Pro Day March the 8th in Sanford, in Birmingham, Alabama. Mm-hmm. Since my school at UNA, they just wanted to send us to bigger places to do our Pro Day, and I feel like, well, that's going to be a bigger opportunity for me, so I just want to go out there on March 8th and put on a show for all the scouts who's going to be out there watching.
Now, you got a younger brother, Jalen, who bragged a lot this past senior year on the Thursday night show that we do from True Loves, and he said he was going to eventually set more records than you.
Well, I hope he do. That's what records are there to do. That's what records are there for, to be broken, and it would be good if my brother broke them, but I don't think he can do that.
But let me tell you what this guy does. I see him in the hallway out at the new Columbia Central in the events area back there, going into the gym. And I said, "Man, what are you doing here?" And this was on the day that they had the faculty and student game. He comes in as a ringer for the faculty.
Oh, okay.
And puts down a massive slam. And I go out and tell his mom, because she's running a concession stand. I said, "Angel, do you realize what he just did?" She says, "You're kidding." I said, "No." I said, "You missed it."
Yeah, that was on Coach Merrill. I just happened to walk in because I found the phone. I actually found the phone in the bathroom, and I showed my mom. I was like, "What am I supposed to do with this phone?" I just found it in the bathroom. She was like, "Take it to Coach Merrill." So I walked back there to Coach Merrill, and I saw Mr. Dan right there. I said, "Hey, I didn't expect to even play in the game." And Coach Merrill was like, "Are you not playing in the game?" I was like, "No, I ain't did nobody tell me." And he was like, "Well, I'll text Davis and tell him you're going to play. I'm not playing, so you could just take my spot." And I was like, "Well, might as well get me a little cardio in today since didn't get me a run in. So that's really what it's a little cardio for me and everything to get in shape, getting ready.
Well, I'm sitting here proud to see you're wearing Central basketball.
Oh,
or is that UNA?
No, this is Central.
Okay,
It's actually my brother's shirt, but he's bigger than me, so I can fit his clothes.
You were outstanding performer, Eric, outstanding performer for the Columbia Central High Lions. Your brother, outstanding on the field as well. It's been a pleasure to watch the Hall brothers progress in your in your sport. And did you ever want to play basketball for UNA?
I might have thought about it the first 2 years when I really thought about it my redshirt year because I wasn't doing anything. But after time went on and I was just like, no, just want to play football and just keep doing what I want to do and just keep breaking records like I was doing and playing the game that I love.
Yeah, he was way too valuable for UNA's football team to be playing basketball. I don't know.
Really?
I don't think anybody would have let him.
Yeah, they probably would have told me no.
Yeah.
They'd let the air out of the basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely good enough, but too much value. So
when you found out that Eric was coming to UNA, what were your thoughts?
I was actually, I think, the first person he texted.
mm-hmm.
First person he texted and was like, hey, I'm thinking about coming there. And I was like, come on. I literally told him to come on.
So you ain't here yet?
we literally that year we literally were down at receiver. Like we needed some more receivers to come in because it was really right after my redshirt year. We had lost I think like 12 receivers. Most of them were seniors, and we didn't have any left. So it was mostly me and I feel like receivers they didn't trust. And I knew with Eric coming in, they would trust Eric more than any other receiver we had. And at one point in time, me and Eric both were starting at outside receiver in the spring. We both were starting. And then we came back and they eventually put Eric on the inside. But it felt comfortable out there, just knowing somebody out there with me that I played with in high school and everything, and it felt real good.
Speaking of that, though, in this line, yeah, you know where this is going. You know exactly what I'm fixing to ask you about. But no secret in 2010, Matthew Markham to Eric Ballou, Matthew Markham to Dre Hall, especially in the state championship. How was it catching that last pass from him down there?
It was wonderful, and we call him Matty Ice. His name's Matty Ice at UNA. I don't know where that one came from, but everybody just started calling him Matty Ice, so it stuck with him. But that was a good feeling for me, and I feel like for everybody, especially everybody in Columbia, knowing that Markham had been through what he'd been through, it going to Hardin, and then Markham was another first person to text me and told me he was coming to UNA, and then it was weird because that day of practice. We were all just at practice, and they ended up saying, Markham, you're going to start because the quarterback had got hurt. But then at one point, everybody was telling me I was going to have to play quarterback, and I was like, no, I can't. I was like, I don't want to throw. I was like, no. So that week went on, and when we got to Florida, I text Markham. I was like, hey, you want to know something crazy? He was like, what's up? I was like, dude. You know, you could throw me this record-breaking pass tomorrow, and you'll be the quarterback to do it. You know how weird that'd be? He was like, dude, I really didn't think about it like that. And I was like, hey, I'm not telling you to force it to me. Just when I'm open, just throw it. I'll make sure I'm going to catch it, and we're going to say that you was that quarterback that threw me that record-breaking pass. And I want to say it came on the second drive, a bubble route. And that's all it was, and we broke the record right there. And then he actually, the next game, extended my touchdown-breaking record too. So that was another one too. So it was real good playing with Markham my last time at UNA and him helping me set that record for the NCAA.
So when you heard about that, Eric, as close as all you guys are, how did you feel about it?
Well, honestly, I mean, a lot of people at UNA, and I've been telling them this for a long time. I mean, I really wasn't very surprised. I expected that from Dre. I think everybody was surprised. Well, obviously, he's done all these incredible things. But to me, I mean, we've been playing ball together since we were, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Started playing basketball. and then just going up and playing with him. I mean, that was my expectation of him, was breaking records and separating himself from everybody he played against. I mean, crap, I played the same position with him. I mean, I went against him in high school all the time, and we competed together. I knew where his limit was. I knew where his ceiling was, and I don't think most people saw that. And I think a lot of people are surprised, but I got a front row seat at his career from the beginning. And like I said, I mean, I wasn't surprised at all. I mean,
but see, really, all of us did.
Yeah.
But and we saw it through 2010, but we didn't get a chance to follow him. I did occasionally follow him after that, and follow you after that.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a whole lot of talent in this room right here, guys. I'm telling you, two guys are the epitome of talent, is what I think. Because we watched you grow up, we watched you guys mature, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we know your we get to know your families, we get to know you, and then we get to see how you are progressing, which is why I like to have you back on the show, because I like to just throw out questions at you.
But to say on top of that, though, I don't know if anybody was harder on Dre than I was, which I probably should have apologized sometimes, especially in college. And I remember telling you one game, it was it was my senior year. It was one game you probably had, I think, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
This was at UNA.
It was senior night. Your senior night.
Yeah, that's right.
It was Eric's senior night.
And I told him, I said, you know, why haven't you separated yourself from everybody yet? And he kind of snapped back at me, you know. But we've always had that relationship where he trusts me enough to where I can talk to him that way because he knows it's coming out of love.
But you see that.
I do, yeah.
You see that in him.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, that's what was special about me and him. I don't think it was so much that the level of talent, but we always made each other better. Because he always made catches that I don't think I could ever make. And I think I worked hard to make sure he was working hard too. So we kind of had this yin and yang circle thing, and you know, we were both really good for each other.
Yeah, but Eddie and I remember, and we're going back to your freshman year, Dre, when one of us looked at the other one and said, "That boy can't even catch cold." But you kept getting better.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year, I mean, you just stepped up and just nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just an incredible team anyway. But there was a time we had our questions.
Yeah.
You know, we said
You did struggle the freshman.
Yeah, I remember that. It was just being caught up out of nowhere. Just because I remember I played freshman football and I played running back. Never had played receiver. And then freshman ball was over and I went to basketball, and I remember Coach Blue walking in there and just telling Coach Merle, "Hey, I need to talk to Dre and Chris real quick." So we walked over there to him. He was like, "I need y'all to come back and play varsity football." And I'm like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do?" And then I remember that like it was nothing. I was so nervous. I couldn't catch anything. But I felt like after I coached that one touchdown pass against Hillsborough my freshman year in the playoff game, it felt like everything just went away in that sophomore year and throughout. With all the help from everybody and everything, I felt like it was just balls to the wall, go on, play ball.
You could tell the confidence that Coach Moore had grown into you.
Yeah.
Remember after Hendersonville had scored, tied the game, and then I think we ran the ball the next play, and then all of a sudden Markham drops back. You're breaking, and we see the double team. Brother Bob and I are standing down here by ourselves on the sideline, and we're going, uh-oh, he's throwing into a double team. And the two defensive backs go up, and then all of a sudden you're behind them, but you go up and get over them and catch it.
But you should have heard this guy on radio. You should have heard this guy, and he's calling that play, and he's like, two defenders, and then all of a sudden it's he caught it. I can't believe he caught it. He's gone.
I mean, they
I said,
had
double
the
coverage,
position.
and here comes, oh, Lord.
The First person in the end zone to meet me after that was Eric.
Oh yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
That
was Eric.
was a.
We got a picture
Yeah,
of
we
that.
do got a
honestly.
good picture of that.
Got a
But it-
picture of that.
But it was so pretty. And then in 2012, when we were playing Ottawa, and the officials for that game were from Athens.
Yeah.
And I was talking
Greece?
to them, no, Tennessee, and you could tell
The way they were calling
you
it,
could
it should
tell.
have been
No,
Greece.
they were a good crew. It was actually a good crew, but they were. This old boy that was the back judge was country as country could be. But he came up to me pregame. We were talking, and then you made a little slant, and Markham hit you, and you were in full stride. And that official came up to me after halftime, and he said, 5 caught that ball. And he said, the safety was, he said, I was watching his eyes, and he was like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. And then all of a sudden his eyes got big and said, I ain't going to get him. And he looked at me and he said, 5 is fast. He said, we had seen him on film, but I couldn't believe how fast 5 is. He said, but that safety's eyes lit up, and he said, I knew he wasn't going to catch him.
Now, when you guys
But
were
it was-
when you guys were at practice, of course, it's all business basically. But what did you learn from this guy?
I learned especially me being a year behind him, I learned leadership, really did, especially in high school and really in college too, because everybody knew Dre's not a talkative person. He's just a person that just leads by example and leads by the way he plays on the field. And in high school, after Eric left, I kind of really spoke up a little bit more, especially with me just playing with everybody from Columbia, and we all knowing each other since we was basically playing since Merritt County Bulldogs and Pop Warner and all that. And so when they heard me talk, I feel like it got to him more. Then when I got to college and Eric came, and I saw Eric being that leader that we needed and everything like that. And then when he left, it's like I was talking, but I wasn't talking. But because like people knew like Dre's not gonna say a word. He doesn't have to because we know how to follow him like that. So I feel like Eric really showed me how to be like a little bit of a vocal leader, but not really a vocal leader because I'm not a talkative person.
But they liked you and they respected
Yeah,
you
they
because they
respected.
knew
Yeah, they respected me a lot. Like
they knew you two were a match,
yeah,
for lack of a better term. But they respected you. You didn't have to say what they already knew,
yeah.
basically.
That was my coach. My coach would tell me that all the time. He'd be like, "Man, like speak up a little bit." I'm like, I really don't have to. I'm like, people know how I am. Like I don't talk. I just keep to myself, listen to music, and go out there, practice, and ready for the game on Saturday. And I do the same routine every Saturday. Just go. I really don't talk at all. I just keep to myself and just play ball, and everybody just follows. And that's how I really felt like that's how I led my team after Eric had left.
Well, you led by example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best leader is there's the leader you can watch and not the leader you listen to. I mean, there's always times where you should be vocal, but I think that's a big testament. You can say whatever you want, but if
can't
your
back
actions
it
ain't
up,
backing it up, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's
So-
really why I feel like I don't talk. Like there's no reason for me to talk. Like if you see me play, then you know like if you play with me or you see me play, I don't talk that much, and if you watch me, like we can follow him and win.
We're going to bring Matthew on the show one of these days, maybe in the next couple of 3 weeks. And
Get him out the bar.
And
Yeah.
That's where he work at.
That
You didn't
dude's
say that
working.
too loud, did you?
Well, he's working.
That's where he works.
He's a
he's
bartender.
working as a
Yeah,
bartender.
he's
Yeah.
the bartender at the bar.
Oh, okay. All right.
Does he still? Does he? That's right, Kevin. We're trying to dig out of this hole here. Don't worry about your son's fine. Is he still the same leader that he was on the field?
Yeah, Markham's still that same leader. I mean, I feel like if we would have let him play more, then we probably would have not finished, I feel like, with a 5-5 record. Because I feel like he came in later on in the season with 2 games left, knowing we didn't have like playoff hopes to get in. And then really we had playoff hopes. When we put him, it's like we just threw him into the fire. Like we just threw Markham into the fire. And I feel like everybody else wasn't comfortable with him, but I was. I'm like, I trust him, but I didn't feel like everybody else trusted him at the same time. Because I'm like, I know what he can do, but I feel like everybody else didn't know what he could do. But I'm like, man, I played with him since we was little. He's been the same person since I knew him. He hasn't grew that much since high school, so he's the same person. Like he still plays hard. I want to say, honestly,
and for a quarterback can take a hit.
yes, and he would deliver one too.
Yeah,
You ain't
I
gonna
know.
I want to say he played it when we played Florida Tech. Actually, he played 3 games because the quarterback got hurt when we played Florida Tech. He got in, and we ran a play, and he just, I was like, dude, don't. I told him, I was like, bro, don't take licks. Do not take licks. He was like, but you know how I am. You know how I
that's
am.
telling
Yeah.
a lion not to
Yeah.
eat
And I was
steak.
like,
That's right.
And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, just play ball. He came around the corner, came around the edge of the DN, and I just saw him lower his head, and I was like, oh my God. The only thing you saw was boom. And I was like, oh, he's down. But he was the one that standing up, still running. I'm like, oh my God. And then right after that, I was like, how'd it feel? He was like, dude, it felt amazing. I was like, I know. I was like, I already know. I was like, yeah, he's that same person. Like I don't think he's never gonna lose.
Markham
that
ain't
mentality.
changed.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I asked Eric this about a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week. What is your favorite memory of Lindsey Nelson Stadium?
Oh, mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know there were a lot.
might have to be myself. Punt return against Tullahoma.
Why does Tullahoma always come up in this?
That's what we talked about.
You want to
last
say
week.
mine is because there was a time we came out in the black jerseys.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We was the only ones that did it. Probably the last ones to do
And
it.
that was when Aaron Hoth destroyed the TV and the Black
No,
Roses
that was
and
the
all that.
playoffs.
No,
Was that
that
playoffs?
This is the
Yeah,
playoff
yeah.
game.
Oh, okay.
This was
That's
my
right.
senior year.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
We it really was a 100-yard punt return from the goal line, and everybody thought I shouldn't have caught it. And I tapped it to myself, made the first person miss in the end zone, ran down the sideline, and ended up scoring. Walked to the sideline. Mark was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I'm like,
I just got you 6 points.
I'm like, dude, I'm playing ball. He was like, you scared me. I was like, bro, you didn't trust me? And he was like, no, he was in the end zone. I was like, man, I got out of there. We scored. We good. And probably after that, I probably wasn't even on punt return no more. But I know that one I scored on, and I want to say they said it was a record punt return for the longest at Central. After that, that probably was my memory after that.
By the same token, what's your worst memory
Oh,
in high school?
I want to say, let me think.
Because you really never got hurt.
No, I that's one thing I've never been. I haven't got hurt one time playing football. Yeah, knock on wood. I've never been. I haven't got hurt. I didn't get hurt in high school. Didn't get hurt in college. So that's a good thing. Probably my worst was probably Spring Hill. I want to say Eric Senior. I think I fumbled like 4 times. That probably was the worst.
Any reason for it? Just mental?
Probably just mental. Yeah, mental.
Not tucking the ball away, probably.
Yeah, because I still don't do that to this day. Like my coaches tell me all the time, tuck the ball. I'm like, I try to. It's just when I get out and run, it's like it's just instinct to just go and not think about it. I'm like, but that probably was it was mental and not tucking the ball and just trying to make plays and couldn't. That's what that one was. I know it was Spring Hill though.
It's always Spring Hill or Tullahoma.
Hate both of them.
Hey, got to.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh man,
All right, so you're going to go
to Sanford.
to Sanford,
Yes,
try
sir.
out, do tryouts, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, do you have an agent?
Yes, sir. My agent is Justin Turner out of I want to say South Carolina, Turner Sports Management. I felt at one point in time I couldn't really find the person that I really just trusted to just help me get to where I wanted to, and I ended up, one of my teammates, he ended up sending me Justin's email, and I shot him an email, and then he actually wrote me back within like 5 minutes and was like, hey, I'm down with the flu right now. And this was like, I want to say it's Christmas break. He was like, he had the flu, and he told me he was going to call me tomorrow, the next day. And he actually called me the next day. I was up early because I was like, I'm expecting a phone call. So I got up early, and we actually talked for like 30 minutes. And everything he was saying, like he was saying stuff that really bought me into him, especially a story he had told me about a client he had. He was like, he had a client, and the client went to school with the coach from he said the Redskins. He went to school with him, and he had told the dude, hey, we're going to send you to the Redskins, and the draft was over. So he ended up having to get unsigned free agent. And he said that the dude, his best friend that he played with, he was like, hey, don't send him here. We don't need any more tight ends at this moment. And he told his client, he was like, your friend doesn't want you to come down there, this and that. And his client was like, well, send me somewhere else. He was like, no, we're sending you to Washington tomorrow, so be ready, pack your bags. And he said they sent him to Washington, and after he did his stuff in Washington, the Washington Redskins cut a drafted player that they had and signed him on a contract.
Wow.
And I was like, in that story right there, I was like, see, that tells me like that you take your job serious. Like, you don't let up on your clients or anything. And he really has some big name clients. Like, he has Brett Burson from the Panthers. He has Colt Beasley from the Cowboys. I want to say they have a kicker in Tennessee, and he actually has Mike Tolbert that played with Cam Newton and Brett Burson and all them too. So I really trust him and everything. So, and he calls me every other day. So that's my agent and everything. So I really like him though. He's a good person.
What NFL team would you like to play for?
Oh, really don't. I feel like everybody asks me that. I'd give them the same answer. I really don't care. I just really
any
just
of them that pay good money.
Yeah. I just want to get it. I just want to get my foot in the door, and when I get my foot in the door, I know I can make a name for myself and show them like I really need to be on this level.
See, that's the confidence I like to hear. You know, I'll play for anybody.
Yes, sir. That's how I don't care where I go. I told my mama, I was like, I could be in Detroit, all I care. I was like, I don't care, cold, hot. It doesn't matter.
Because you know.
You mean you'd even sign with Cleveland?
Yeah, I don't care. Long as I'm in that NFL, I don't.
But you know that Mama Angel is going to be wherever you're going to be.
That's exactly her and my dad, especially my dad.
Yeah.
I know my dad's gonna be there. He might be somebody say he want me to play with the Dallas Cowboys, but I know he will go anywhere I want to go. Anywhere I'm at, he'll be there.
And
probably with some ribs.
At some,
Yeah,
don't know about that. We need some of those now. It's going to come down to where it may be both of you.
Yeah.
You and Jalen both.
Yeah.
Going pro.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be something to really think about down the road, because he got the body frame for it. And he got everything.
If he can just keep his mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the comedian in our family. Like, that's one thing I can say.
Oh, there's no doubt about
he's
that.
He's the comedian.
Yeah.
He's literally the comedian in our family. Like, if there's anybody you want to get a laugh from, mad, anything, just go to my brother. Like, he will get it up out of you. Some way or another, he's going to get it up out of you. And then he's taller than me, so it really makes me mad too, because now I got to look up at him. And then my sister's not too much far behind. It's not far behind him either. So I just feel like we got a family just full of athletic people, and we just really love to do what we do. And especially me being the oldest one, I feel like they follow in my footsteps and try to be the best they can be in anything they do.
Great family. I love them all. I really do. You're the comedian in your family.
Oh, yeah.
Brian, not so much.
Yeah, Bryant thinks he is, but
Well, Chip, were you the comedian in your family?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
Yeah, My brother wins that award easily. Easily.
So how you going back out there tonight to watch a game?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Actually, he in the boot today.
I saw him coming down. What's he
Yeah.
doing in the boot?
He said one of his teammates, they was doing some type of drill, and one of his teammates came down and landed on his foot, and his foot turned,
Yeah.
leaned over some way, and he really said the doctor told him he could have played tonight. He's like, but the doctor was like, just wait it out. And she was like, are y'all in regionals or anything? He was like, no, we just in district. It's a district championship. She was like, so when does regional start? He was like, Saturday. And she was like, well, just wait till Saturday. Just play Saturday. He was like, well, all right. But then he told me this morning, he was like, hey, I'm going to try to do walkthrough. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to do, if I feel good during walkthrough, I'm dressing. And I was like, do what you want to do. It's your body. I'm like, if they tell you you don't need to play, then don't play. He was like, but I want to play. He was like, this is probably my last district. He was like, this is my last district championship game I'm going to play in. So I want to play. I was like, hey. Then he showed me his foot, and I was like, dude, it don't look that bad. I was like, I've seen worse. I've seen worse.
That's what they make tape for.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, though. That was the first thing he said. I'm taping myself up, and I'm playing. Like, I'm not missing. But I don't know what he's going to do, though. I'm gonna go out there and see if he dressed out or not, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. I'm pretty sure trainer Fett didn't let him dress out. So he'll probably, as long as they win, he'll be all right. That's really all he worried about is winning. But I feel like they got a good shot. Yeah, they got a good shot at winning, though. They should win.
This is probably, I would say, this Columbia team, after watching them and doing PA for them a couple of times this year, this team is probably the most loaded that they've been with talent.
They are.
In a long time.
They are. And I watched all them little boys just grow up, like playing in Riverside, because they all played, either they played together or they played against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew all of them since they done came up. And Jakaya, the tall one, I never thought he was gonna be that tall, never, and never thought it. But if you put all of them side by side, they would probably like average out at least. They average about 6'2", 6'3" for a high school team. That's pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is for the average.
That's pretty tall. Because I know my brother's pushing 6'3", and everybody above him is 6'4", 6'5", 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, y'all are.
And Austin Woodson
he
has turned into a good
height.
point guard.
He plays above his height. Like, he the shortest one on the team, but he plays above his height. He plays, and I like that too, because I was like, dude, I was the shortest person too. Like, you just got to play with some heart, and he got it. He got a lot of heart.
And Quay Kennedy is lights out.
Yes. Yes.
Without a doubt. Eric's over there. He's got his eyes rolled back because he don't know these kids. We were watching these kids play sometimes.
Which is really weird that I don't know any of them. So.
Hey, don't feel bad, brother.
Hey.
It's coming up to where Eddie and I don't know any on the football team. That's the weird thing.
You mean we got a football team?
Yeah, I got a state championship ring right up there to prove
I'm just
that.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not that senile yet.
How's Lewis County look for next fall?
We look pretty good. We've got, now you gotta remember this is a 2A school, but we've got
Right.
16, 17, actually it may be 18 upcoming seniors and close to 20 upcoming juniors, which is pretty unheard of at that level. And we've got quite a few kids. We've got he's about to be a junior lineman. It's about 6'4", 330. He's gonna be able to go wherever
Just
he
a
wants.
little bitty fella.
Yeah. But if you ain't heard the name Preston Purdue, you better look out now because he's gonna be a stud. He works hard. He's a great kid. He benched 375 with ease, and he's 16 years old. He squatted 500 pounds like it was nothing, like it was just a bar. It looked like the weights were fake. I mean, that's
kind of like David Rash.
But a kid works his butt off, and
Oh, yeah,
he's gonna.
I used to do that in high
Now,
school.
the big news is Bobby Sharp's going to run a spread offense, right?
No. That will never happen, ever, 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 ever. But I'm telling you, though, that guy, he's got it figured out, and he runs. I mean, this is kind of a bold statement, but I don't know if there's anybody at this level in the country that runs a wing tee as well as he does. I'd take his name against anybody in the country. And that's just a testament to, he's learned from the best. He learned from Herschel Moore, who was probably the most decorated wing tee high school coach and that I could think of. But he's done it right for a long time, and he keeps getting better every year. That's the best advice I ever got from him. I mean, he's coached for this is his 30th year, and he said, I learned something new, every year, which that just shows why he's so good at what he does.
But why aren't coaches like that elevated to higher school or bigger schools, or people go out and seek them?
Well, I think at the high school, or even at any level, you want to pursue security, especially when you have a family.
Right.
And the Blackman coach this past year made it to the quarterfinals and got fired. Rutherford County, great competition, very low job security. So if you have a family and you can keep this job and you've established yourself, then to provide for your family, that this job's not going anywhere and you're going to do a great job at it, stay. Make sure you can take care of your family first. And, he's from Hohenwald too, so obviously that plays a big part in it. But, a lot of people want to chase the big, 5A, 6A jobs or big private school jobs or even jumping up to college. But, if you're a family person, you chase security over notoriety, definitely. So, I think that's just a testament to how good of a person he is.
When the NFL's through and your playing days and you hang up the number, or they hang it up for you. Any aspirations of coaching someday?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I've thought about it a lot. It's just hopefully it's at Central, wherever it's at. I just want to give, after I'm done, give all the people under me some good advice and good techniques on everything and helping them be a better athlete.
When you do that, you're going to hear Eric Blue in your head.
Hey, hopefully me and Eric coaching at the same place.
Well, see, I'd ask about that before. I said, is there any hope one day maybe another Blue coming back to coach at Columbia Central?
Might be.
We'll see.
Just saying.
Who knows? You never
Well,
know.
they tore down your office that you occupied your senior year. Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
Y'all were constantly.
Yeah.
Every time I walked in the building, that's where those two were. Vance was in the dressing room,
Yeah.
or in the laundry,
Working. I don't know.
but y'all were watching film.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Yeah, and Colt wants to be a coach too, and that's just how I've always been. I didn't like math. I didn't like English. I didn't like science. I liked football. So
You're not the only one.
Exactly.
All I can say. You're not the only one.
People can say what
Got
they
a
want.
PhD in football.
Yeah. Some teachers would say that I didn't like learning, but I like learning about football.
Yeah.
And I would always get in trouble all the time from grade school on up to my senior year. Teachers would ask me to look at my notes that I was taking for the class, and it'd be football plays, But
Man.
that's
Were the
just how I've
football
always-
plays you were studying, or football plays you were designing?
Both. I'm just trying to learn.
Okay. All right.
Learning and studying.
All right.
Mhm. So, that's a good thing. I feel like.
Well, this is an interesting dynamic that you're doing this through your high school days, obviously, too. And then you've got a dad who's not only the football coach, but he's also a history professor at the same time. So how do we address this in the parent-teacher conference, where I looked at his notes the other day and there's 14 plays down there and the mathematics isn't there. So how do we address that?
Well, it's a testament to he was a successful coach. But that guy knows history. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
And he was a great teacher and still is a great teacher. But another thing, that's what he was passionate about. He loved the cardiovascular exercising part of it, which is what he got his degree in PE. And I love that too. and I love the wellness aspect. But I think if you ask him, he loves football and he loves history, and I love football and I love PE and wellness. So that's what we stick to. We're not complicated. My mom would tell you all the time that I'm him spit out, which is the best compliment I think I could receive, you know. But we're not hard to understand.
At
We're
least
very
she
simple.
used the term spit.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. So, but yeah,
And you had her for a resource to help you with studying.
definitely, yeah, and that was always big. I mean, Whitthorne was the only time I didn't have a parent at the school where I was attending. So middle school was the reckless age for me, that's for sure. But that was always good. And my mom, she actually tried to talk me out of teaching for probably about 22 years.
The
And then she
reckless
said,
age for Dan and I was 1st through 12.
Yeah,
all the
it
way
was-
through.
Yeah, it was dangerous. It was extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good going into the profession that both my parents had. I have a lot of guidance, and being thrown into the teaching lifestyle it's tough. It really is. I mean, it hits you, like a train wreck. But I was more prepared. Definitely, it still hit me. Don't get me wrong, but I was more prepared than most, given that both of my parents were in that profession. So that definitely helped a whole lot.
It helped, but it didn't help you slide through.
No, not
It
at all.
made it tougher.
Not at all. And there was always eyes on me. My mom knows every teacher, and even at Whitthorne, I mean, but my parents knew every teacher there. A lot of pressure,
Yep.
but pressure either makes dirt or diamonds. So I guess I figured I'd try to be a diamond. So
Is that why we're so dirty, Dan?
Well, Carol and I were talking about last night that the old Riverside school that we went to is gone.
Right.
The only thing left from the old Whitthorne downtown is the 9th grade building
Right.
that the county
the
central
old
office.
cafeteria.
Yeah, the old cafeteria.
Yeah.
And the science wing upstairs.
Right.
And then Central High School that we went to is gone. So none of the schools that we went to are here anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, man. Well, hopefully, I mean,
Hey, no
And,
church.
and the columns of the old Central High School that were on West 8th are over in Jenny Jo Hardison's yard
yeah,
on West 7th. At least part of them.
at least
Yeah.
part of them are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Used
So-
to be one up there. Where Aspen Dental is now.
Yeah.
Right there at the corner.
Yeah.
Going down toward Walmart. Used to be one right there. But
You know what my favorite class was in high school, don't you?
basketball.
Military training.
Oh, good. Good for you. Good for you.
Block football.
oh yeah, easy,
Fourth
easy
block football. Easy A.
Fourth block football and lunch. That was my two
Easy
favorite
as
classes.
A. Fourth block football.
On chicken strip day.
On
Chicken strip day. Yes.
Hey, and first off,
Yes.
I love talking about chicken strip day because people talk. I talk to other guys that went to other high schools, and they said, "Oh yeah, we had chicken strip day. It'd be good." I was like, "No, y'all don't understand
Man,
what chicken strip day was about. It was like the running of the bulls."
And the seniors had to get there first.
Oh yeah, and I'm telling you, and I'm not gonna say any names, but I saw somebody get their ACL torn legitimately. And you know who I'm talking about. Legitimately, her ACL was torn.
Well, now we're
because-
narrowing it down to a female.
Yes, she got trampled.
Goodness.
Nobody stopped, and I'm telling you,
Nobody
it was
stopped.
crazy.
Wow.
Nobody
But-
stopped.
Hey, it was survival of the fittest. Because the thing is, hey, they run out of the good chicken strips by the end of fourth lunch.
Yeah.
So if you don't get there in time, sorry.
Then people getting like 2 extra.
Yeah.
I know I was always one that got an extra little tray of chicken strips. I was like,
Well, see, even back in 2001, when my son was a senior, he said chicken strip day, it's the bomb.
It
Yeah.
is.
You
I
know,
mean-
and
see
it was.
that before that they used to
We didn't
used to
have
have it
chicken
every
strips.
Friday.
Yeah.
We used to have it every Friday until that girl got trampled in the hallway, and then it was like the end of every 9 weeks.
Yeah.
One time.
I mean, I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I just I just didn't
She's
know,
fine now. She's doing great.
Didn't
You
know the chicken strips were
No
that.
permanent damage.
I just remember Will, because he didn't get enough in the cafeteria,
Yeah.
carried a Jeffro Bodine lunch pack
Yeah.
and ate lunch except on chicken strip
Chicken strip
day.
day.
Chicken
Yeah.
strip day was the bomb.
And
It was because it's public. I mean, and I'm not knocking anybody, but our cafeteria food was awful,
Hey,
But chicken strip days, I mean, it's like
It's
It felt like
it's we was
filet
eating a
mignon.
5-star meal.
Back in Dan and I's day, if it was a sandwich, it had a pickle on it. I don't care if it was peanut butter and jelly; they had a pickle on it.
That's where I learned to hate pickles.
When you were sophomore and taking biology and you dissected the earthworm, you get to the cafeteria and they're serving spaghetti.
Oh, no.
Oh man,
That's good.
All right. When you do the starfish, of course they have fish. When you did the frog, you had some unknown meat.
But going back to Riverside, we had liver that was disguised as Salisbury steak.
Yeah.
No, don't doubt it at all.
And it was
Oh,
yeah.
and-
Look at Dre. He's
that
he,
sounds
hey.
horrible.
oh man, it was
and,
awful.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and the lady
Awful.
over the lunchroom with that big metal spoon.
Yes.
If she
Yes.
thought it got too loud in there, she would start banging that spoon down on that metal countertop.
Yep.
And then she would scream out, "Get quiet in here!"
Yep.
Boy, you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, for about 10 seconds, and then start back up again.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're taking me too far back, guys. I just can't. I can't deal with it.
Well, at Whitthorne, we had great rolls. At Whitthorne, it was always great rolls.
Sandwiches in the where I was
And
going to tell you,
sandwiches there
sandwiches
were
were
good.
always great
What-
because
what-
they were in wax paper.
In the ninth grade cafeteria.
Right, the
Yeah,
ninth
ninth
grade
grade
building
cafeteria.
had the better cafeteria.
Yeah.
The new wing,
Yeah,
not
it's
so
true.
good.
They want to treat the young
And-
kids
but-
good.
At CMA, we had the mess hall. And there
Oh,
was
really?
a reason they called it a mess hall.
It was a mess.
I don't know. I take offense to that. I painted that thing one summer. Have you ever painted rocks?
Yep,
Yeah, it's hard.
yep. Hey, paint them out at Union Carbide. If you think painting them at CMA was hard.
They're very porous.
That's because you got the dust.
You got the graphite dust all over them. Paint don't want to stick to graphite.
How gratifying it is to you to see him progress as far as he has to this point, and chances of doing like Shaq, going that one step further.
Yeah, I think it's just really good to see it. You know, anybody from this town do something like that when they set their mind to something, no matter what it is. I mean, if it's the NFL or if it's being a doctor or, you know, no matter where you come from, whatever demographic you're from, in Columbia, nothing's given to you.
But you know what that would be then? It'd be Dr. Dre. I'm just saying.
Or coin that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But you know, just a testament for him and Shaq and anybody from Columbia that's doing what they set out to do. I mean, there's great support here, but you have to earn everything you get coming
Right.
from here.
Right.
From the outside in, especially when it comes to athletics, no matter how good Columbia is or how bad Columbia is, we're never respected the way we should be. And it takes a lot to apply yourself and get to where you want to be.
But don't you think those years that we flew under the radar was good for us?
Yeah, and I think that's a part of why Dre's doing what he's doing. I think that's part of why Shaq's doing what he's doing, is that we always have had a chip on our shoulder. And you could take that and let it weigh you down, or you can take that and make yourself stronger. And Dre's done that. And like I said, I'm not surprised at the situation he's at. I will be surprised if he's played his last football game, because I expect him to continue to be playing football after this, and I hope it's for a long time. But he's earned it because of he took where he came from and applied what he learned and did what it took to earn it. And I think, you know, no matter what happens, we don't know what his future is. Could be playing for a year. He could be playing for 20 more years. But what he's done so far, everyone should be satisfied and proud, 100%. So,
Boy, I tell you what, the Fox News, not Fox News, Fox Sports, a couple of commentators the other day were really giving Shaq a hard time.
yeah. Probably people that have never played the game before at a high level.
Probably not.
Tom Brady should have threw that ball earlier. He had plenty
Well,
of time.
the thing is, the outcome of the game was not as a result of Shaq Mason.
Right.
It's
They
not.
should have been ahead a long time before that, and they should have had a defense that could stop Foles and the birds.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
if you-
birds.
Like if you looked at it, like our coach tell us, like the average time for a lineman is 3 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. Tom Brady literally held that ball for like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't on Shaq. That was literally on Tom Brady holding that ball too long. Like throw it away, do something else with it, but don't like he held that too long. And then he held it right where somebody could put their arm in there and just barely just knock it out his hand. So I'm not saying that was on Shaq. Like I was reading all the little comments on Twitter and I was like, these folks really don't know what they talking about.
don't.
Like
Well, like I told Dan, I said the loss ain't on Shaq. I said the loss is the Patriots couldn't stop him. Period. I mean, they let the Eagles just run up and down the field at will, and they scored basically whenever they wanted to.
There was
or
no
whatever.
pass rush.
no.
They only hit Foles one time, and he'd already thrown the ball when he got hit. And you know, so if you don't get pressure on the quarterback and you allow him time to throw, a high school quarterback can pick you to death.
Yep.
You know.
Well, another thing, a lot of times the line gets blamed for something that happens.
Right.
And a back didn't pick up the person they should have picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people don't,
Right.
they just always, well, that lineman didn't block or that, you know.
That one
well, no,
play,
there's
one play.
one play did not cost them the Super Bowl.
That just shows you why that profession is a joke.
Another thing, like I played Malcolm Butler in college, like, and then Malcolm Butler has played for them for 5, 6 years, and he didn't play a snap on defense.
Right.
He
only played one
He
special
won special teams, and
play.
he was your Pro Bowl corner and got the interception against the Seahawks
Right,
and helped y'all
right.
win. Like,
It just, when it comes to the sports analyst, there's some really good ones, but there's some guys that make it a joke. And then they try to, pick on guys and stuff, and they've never been there before. And they love using numbers. And I think the most accurate number that's out there, which is really good, is that PPR rating, player performance rating.
Because you gave Shaq like a 98.
Yeah, that was his a grade out for that game. But his season long grade out or PPR rating, which is objective. I mean, it is raw evidence how you perform. He was the number 2 guard in the NFL.
yes.
Right.
So they can
Entire league.
they can say whatever they want, but who's to say? I mean, if you want to say that play was on Shaq, then I can go as far as to say as they wouldn't have played in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for Shaq's performance. They wouldn't have been there. Rash, yeah, but if you want to use stats, there you go. There's some stats for you. And
Hands down, Shaq will be a Pro Bowler next year. Has to be.
Well, if I have anything to do with voting,
Has to be.
Yeah, I know.
He should have been in there this year.
should have.
Right.
Should have been in there
Right.
this year.
He has played at a Pro Bowl level, and that analyst can. Well, never mind. We can go.
No,
ahead.
we know where he can go. Because if they had honestly given out a phone number, this was a Fox Sports analyst from maybe Las Vegas or somewhere like that, where they're good about making comments, but they're bad about giving you a phone number to call in to
Right.
comment.
Yeah.
I would have called him and said, "Dude, what game are you watching?"
Yeah, I know. It's just, but they say what gives them the most attention. They don't say what's right, and I understand it as a profession. They trying to get viewers, and but when it comes to attacking a player's integrity and the level of player that he is, when it comes to where you're disrespecting a player, that's when I take offense to it, especially when it's somebody that I grew up with.
Right.
And
And we all watched him play.
Yeah. Played
No.
with him.
yeah,
You guys played with him. We watched you guys. Y'all are like family to us.
yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering now that he's going into his 4th year. Now he's fixing to hit that. The best part is
That
he's
rookie.
vested in his retirement. He's gotten.
Yeah.
He's
That
already
point.
got that set.
But
Right.
that's
The
it.
rookie contract is
But
up.
what kind of contract?
Is he getting?
New England is famous for not giving that next contract.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
Well, they're kind of on shaky ground right now.
but everybody,
Right.
but I think he's performed well enough that
Hey, they
anybody would look at him
Yeah.
real quick.
every other team in the league would like to pick him up.
But I just wonder what New England will do with him.
I would
I'd be
say
interested.
when it comes to his perspective, I mean, number one, he's high character, he plays hard, and he's proven himself to be one of the elite guards in the NFL. So he doesn't have to worry, which is so good for most guys coming towards the end of their rookie contract. And I think, whatever happens, he's going to be just fine because of the type of person he is. So that's, I mean, he's in as good as a situation as I think he could be in.
All right, here's a question. Here's a question I got to ask, and inquiring minds want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Did a Shaq Mason or a Big Kenny Hughes or a Tredarius Goff ever hit either one of you?
I got hit.
Yes.
I got hit by Trey D.
And you didn't get hurt? Wow.
I really feel like that's how I learned how to take licks, though. But
Really?
you know what's crazy? He's like my best friend.
I know.
Like we grew up together, went to the same church,
but when
everything.
But when he put that helmet on, he's
Yeah,
a,
I mean,
he's
He
an
didn't have no
animal.
friends.
It really happened because I was some point of time. I want to say it probably was my sophomore year. I ended up having to be scout team quarterback.
Oh.
But it was fun. It was fun though, because especially that first day when we first installed.
Wait a minute. You mean the quarterback position you said you did not want to play?
Yeah, but it was fun playing on scout team because I
Well,
was
you
like,
were running the other team.
yeah, I was running the other team
Oh, okay.
plays. So
All right.
that first, I want to say that Monday, the install day, it was fun because I'm like, they don't know no plays, so I could just try to make them look crazy.
Play
And I
jungle
was just out there just running around, and all the time they used to tell me like, dude, you're making us better. Like you're making us better. And one time I just made the wrong cut, and Trey D
Trey
just
D
happened to
said,
be
"Hello."
right there. And just, wow, I'm like, whoa. I was like, hey, you won't hit me like that again. Never will I cut back inside. And I never, but he got me one time. We talk about it all the time. Like, you hit me once, but you ain't never hit me no more after that.
Oh yeah, and I'd say the same thing. I was in 7th grade, and he was an 8th grader, Trey D. And I told coach, it was like before the season started, I said, Coach, I want to try to play linebacker. Of course, I was a twig, like I always was. He was like, all right, fine, yeah, try it out. So we're doing Oklahoma, and first person I go up against is Trey D. Trey D hit me once, and I never played linebacker again. That was it. Done. Moved to safety. the next
Coach,
day.
can I try something out?
Exactly.
I'm about to say, Shaq wrapped me up once, but he never just laid.
But all he had to do was wrap you up.
Yeah, he might have wrapped me up and gave me a little big old little tight squeeze, but other than that, Kenneth never just hit me like that. But Trey D, he got me. Mm-hmm. That's one person I can say that got me.
Did Big Kenny ever get angry? Did he ever really put that anger into a football?
I saw him get
it
angry
once.
one time. My dad was getting after him one day. I mean, he was one of those I'm going to test your manhood days. Mm-hmm. And he got after Kenneth, and I think it was really good for him. He became more physical after that, but he still was always the same Kenneth he's always been.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I kept telling different guys, I said, slap him. Just slap the heck out of him. Make him mad.
Like after I seen, I forgot the movie. What was the movie?
Blindside?
Yes. After I seen that, I was like, I could compare Kenneth to that person
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really could. I was like, cause dude never got mad, nothing. I'm like, that's Kenneth. Kenneth never got mad, but
I
one time.
liked in the movie when he told the guys to run the same play again.
Yeah.
yeah.
And he took
And he
him,
drove a guy
took him all the way
Yeah.
to
the fence.
Yeah.
and throw him
Thought he needed to go to the bus, Coach.
Yeah. Mhm.
I
It was time
remember
for him to go.
I remember when Kenny was a sophomore. He rode over to our house up here on a little old bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
Come to the front door, knocked on the front door, and we got these 3 windows.
He covered all 3 of them.
And my wife goes to the door, and she sees that head and everything. She opens the door, the big smile, and says, "I'm Big Kenny, and I'm here to see Matlock." He told me to come by.
Yeah.
And so she said, "Well, come on in. She said, now, what's your name? And he told her her name. And she said, well, I'm going to call you Kenny. And he said, okay. Went in there, and, of course, we fed them, and they was doing that.
Did you have
And we
enough?
told him.
I was gonna say, good luck.
We had that group that came all the time, so we kept plenty of food. We
Yeah.
always knew that. But
Well, Dre, this has
we
been
told him to come by.
this has been
Yeah.
fun. This has been a pleasure, man. Glad to
Been
have you
real
on.
good.
Yeah, yeah. You too.
And
Eric.
it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
real pleasure doing the play-by-play of the state championship back in
Yes.
2010.
Yes,
It was a good day.
it was
Fun
a real
day.
good day.
Never
Well,
thought
not
I would
only
make
the
it.
state championship, that entire
Whole
year.
whole season
Oh,
was,
yeah.
was
I
I
incredible.
never thought I would have made it to the state championship 3 times out of my 4
Yeah.
years there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never thought about it.
It's incredible.
It's a lot of football.
Well, guys, thank you much. We love you both, just like family. You
Yes,
know?
sir.
Appreciate it.
And looking forward to seeing what's in your future. And of course, I'll stay updated with that with Angel and your daddy,
Yeah.
because they bragging all the time on Dre and Jalen.
Well, I say next time when Dre comes back on, it's required that his daddy's got to make ribs and he's got to bring them.
Hey,
So
I'm all for that.
But in the meantime, we will enjoy some delicious True Love's pizza.
that's right.
That's right. So we're out of here for this Tuesday evening. Everybody have a great night, everybody.